Hey, this is Chris Gethard, and you're listening to Is That Your Kid? You better buckle up, man, because Todd and Jake, they're about to take you on a real ride.
Welcome to episode 11 of Is That Your Kid podcast with Jake and Todd, taping on a Saturday night, Western Pennsylvania, and we are ready to go. Jake, how you feeling over there, bro?
Feeling good. Excuse me.
Yeah? Starting off coughing over there.
There you go.
All right.
That's my first thing.
I just want to give a shout out first, and this just came to me right now to, let me think of his name because I forgot it. What was the uncle in Rocket Power?
Otto?
Tito. Give a shout out to Tito for being the chillest dude on a cartoon ever.
I thought you were going to talk to your fish because you pointed at your fish.
All right. Shout out to my fish.
Do you have one of your fish? Is one of your fish names Tito?
I don't name my fish because,
They could be gone.
Yeah.
Todd has some fish that have really like kinky backs. They have like a bent back.
Yeah. In my prime, I had 2 fully functional fish tanks. In my prime, I had 2 fully.
Down to one.
We're down to one. We're down to 1 fish tank, but
I have the light on. Can I turn the light on? And more importantly, can I feed your fish?
No, that is the thing. You always like, is it feeding time for the fish?
Everyone, I always want to feed Todd's fish because it's the most like active you see them because they get so excited about food.
Yeah.
Is it not time?
Before you can. I'm
so
gonna be real.
Say it now. It's not okay for me to feed them.
No,
right?
it's not okay.
Well, I'll try to hide my disappointment, but
yeah.
let's try to move forward.
I should learn to starve them before you come here.
Yes, dude, we'll be better friends if you let me feed your fish more.
Like, if you're like, well, I'll be over at 9 o'clock. I should know all day to like. And so, like, I'll let you feed them, like, twice, so they're just, like, starved to the bone.
No, don't do that. They've already got, like, some weird bendy shapes to them. They're already malnourished.
That's what happens when some of them
you
are
used
very
to have
old.
You used to have one bended back.
Yeah.
And then
he had
died.
He had since passed.
And then another one has adopted the old bendy back.
It's a shame. But that's what happens when fish get older. Those are old fish.
Like Deauville old.
Well, before Deauville.
What? Really?
Oh, yeah. Some of those I got from Mike's Pap.
Well, that's Deauville.
Mike's Pap?
Deauville is Todd's apartment.
No. Yeah, my old apartment. I lived there for 3 years.
It was an apartment complex.
Yeah. No. When I got Mike's Pap's fish, they were Mike's Paps.
Yeah, but you were in Deauville when that happened.
Yeah, but they were pre.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, Mike's
I wasn't
Pap
thinking
had fish.
forward enough.
Yeah, Mike's Pap had fish for years and years.
Right.
And he gave them, the family gave them to me. So some of those fish were quite old. So, anyway, good evening, everybody. Well, I shouldn't say good evening. Yeah, I'll say good evening. Jake and I are spending Saturday night together, but this will be out tomorrow. So sorry about that. You guys have to go to work or school tomorrow, or maybe some of you are unemployed. You liberals out there probably are. Because, who cares about work, right?
Yeah, share the wealth, man.
Mm-hmm. No, but for real, I love all of you. Especially you liberals.
Especially you put a C in your especially. I like that.
Especially?
You said especially.
Oh, really? I'll have to.
Some people, I'll say, it bothers me when people, instead of saying like escape, they'll say escape. That was a huge, not a pet peeve maybe, but it bothers me.
People say, oh, you mean like escape?
They'll
like
just say, instead of, hey, we need to escape, they'll say,
escape.
We need to escape, which is, there's no C
Hit the
there.
escape button.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if this is the first episode you're listening to,
and I hope it's not.
I hope it's not, but it may be. All depending. We are nerds from Western Pennsylvania, and I'm not sure of the whole bit I put on iTunes because I never am. But we're nerds from Western Pennsylvania. We host a variety show, and we deal with one another's personality flaws. Across the table from me is Jake Zerme.
Who's yawning?
Who's yawning? Low energy. Jake Zerme. Jake Zerme. I am Todd Tondera, and this is our 11th podcast. So we like to think it's a variety show, but depending on who you talk to, they think we only do one thing.
Or maybe two. Max,
maybe two things. But that's okay, because we're feeling okay this season.
Well, let's do something different. Let's branch out, man.
We've been branching out, bro.
You're right. We never stop branching out. We are like the tree of life.
Not quite the tree of life.
Well, we're like the
traditional tree. A traditional tree.
Any tree.
Any tree.
Usually branches out.
Any tree that's progressing in its normal fashion. You know what? That's a great theory to our podcast. We are a tree. So you know what? We're growing.
Is that a liberal thing to say?
We are growing, but as in a tree, a traditional tree. We're growing like a tree, like real slow. We're getting our roots. We're getting that
chlorophyll.
Yeah, you know, and we're going as is. So thank you for listening. And as Stone Cold Steve Austin would say, because I subscribe to his podcast, he always says, like, thanks. Stone Cold Steve Austin always says, like, thanks for hitting that download button. But he's just on iTunes, so, like, you don't hit the download button. You hit the refresh button. But I do like Stone Cold Steve Austin's podcast a good bit. I will say that.
Do you listen to that?
Mm-hmm.
I just referred someone to Night Vale earlier today.
Welcome to Night Vale?
Welcome to Night Vale.
It's a pretty cool... I like that.
Well, I have to say, it introduced me into the world of podcasting. Because
Night Vale did?
More or less.
Okay.
Because I listen to things like sporadically, but I never listened on a weekly basis.
Okay.
But Night Vale is one of those ones, and I'm still trying to catch up because I'm still behind. But I liked it because it was so short. But a podcast like Night Vale, it's almost got to be short. If it was any longer, you'd kind of lose it.
Well, I do listen to a podcast. It's called 12 Hour Day, and it's 12 hours long.
Is that with Connor O'Malley?
No, it's with Connor Ratliff.
Oh. Well,
but a Connor, yes, a Connor, and J.D. Amato.
O'Malley. Where did I get that from?
Connor O'Malley?
Is that real?
Yes, he writes for Seth Meyers. He's real. He's a real thing.
Oh, okay.
He got popular from the Vine compilation. Just two different people, two Connors.
Just okay.
And we were listening to a musician named Connor before.
Oh.
So there's Connor. I mean, people could be named Connor.
People can be named Connor if they'd like.
Yeah, if their parents like. They can't really do it. You know what's a thing? And this is serious. I have, in the past month, this is something you don't know, but and this is real too, I've been seriously considering changing my middle name to William. That's not a joke.
Well, let's do this. Let's do a Rumpelstiltskin thing.
Okay, what is?
Because I forget your middle name.
Gregory.
Well, I was gonna try to guess it.
I don't know
what
Rumpelstiltskin is.
Well, they try to guess his name, and he turns things to gold inexplicably.
Wow. Okay. Well, let me think of something else then.
I think that's his own talent. You're gonna make up a middle name, and I'm gonna guess your made-up middle name.
No, I already said what I wanted it.
Well, do you know my middle name?
Henry.
Oh, you got it right away.
Yeah, I did.
See, I forgot Gregory.
Yeah.
Is it because it was hanging in my room for a while?
What?
My middle name.
Your middle name was hanging in your room?
My middle name was hanging in my room.
I don't know that it is.
It said Jacob Henry Zerman.
I'm not denying that it is, but I don't remember seeing it.
Well,
no, I just knew it. No. I've been thinking about changing my middle name to my grandfather's first name. Just because, not a lot of people know this, but I'm a junior, but I've never went by it.
Right.
My dad...
He's also named Todd.
Todd Gregory Tondera is my dad's name. The whole thing. And so I've been thinking about changing my name to
So
William.
you don't have to put the junior there.
No, I still don't. But when we get to tax season, when we get to a lot of things, and still not often, but I get calls from different banks and whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just hey, are you blah 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 blah? And I'm like, yeah, I am. And then they tell me all this information, and I'm just like,
it's clearly not
sick. No,
not you.
But so I've been I've been thinking about it. A few coworkers of mine were just, water cooler talking, and they said it's not that hard to do. I didn't mention it to them.
Okay.
I didn't mention it to them that I wanted to do it, but they had said, like, you know how easy it is to change a middle name? And I'm just like, no. And then that's when I got the idea.
No, but I am interested.
Yeah. And so
So Gregory's out. Let's say that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's set the stage. What would you like your new name to be? Will it have as many syllables as Gregory?
You're going to have to listen to this in post, but I have already said what I wanted my name to be.
Oh, well. Well,
here's the thing. If you
for everyone else that missed it.
No one missed it if they're listening. So here's
Just me. I'm the only one.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Okay, then. We'll make this into a game then. What do I want my middle name to be? Everybody that listens knows what the answer is, so everybody is in on this joke.
Well, we just made up that's pretty cool. But let's move on. Your middle name?
Yeah.
James.
Nope. Just keep going. Just go.
There's a lot of names out there, man.
Yep. I don't think
Connor.
Nope.
See what I did?
Just thinking names I mentioned.
Sometimes I zoned out.
I know you do sometimes. Just keep naming. We will not go forward in this podcast till you guess it.
Timothy.
Nope.
Brad.
Nope. Brad. Are you kidding?
Todd.
No.
Brad. Tondera. Oh.
No.
I'm gonna call you on my phone because my phone. Here, listen to this. I have a speech to text or a text to speak or whatever.
Okay.
I can tell my phone things and
Okay.
it'll figure it out. But this is what I do when I want to call you. Call Todd Tondera.
That's not how you pronounce my last name.
Calling Todd Tondera. Mobile.
Gimme Gil. I knew that. My
I'm not
phone
giving
says
you
your
Gil.
name wrong. My phone says your name wrong, so I say
Well,
to make
listen,
the speech.
everyone else does too.
To make the speech to text. Oh, it worked, everybody.
Yeah.
To make it work, if I say Tondera, it'll call someone else. So
Yeah.
I have to say Tondera.
Who will it call? Who will it call?
There's a lot of people. It ends up calling my principal a lot.
His name is Todd Tondera?
No, I'm not gonna. His name is
No, don't
Joe.
say it. Okay.
Hey.
Yeah. I wouldn't recommend saying it.
His name's Joe. That's all. And it'll call him like I don't want it to call him.
Okay.
So I say Tondera.
It starts with a W. My middle
William.
name. Yeah. There it is. I've already said it.
Well, as soon as you said W, I knew.
Yeah. Todd William Tondera. That's what I'm thinking
Okay,
of.
that's a good one.
And just to make sure
Now is William someone you're related to? You said that already.
we already went through
Your
this as
grandfather.
well. Yeah, right.
Okay.
My grandfather.
All right.
His name was
Okay.
Bill, but obviously his name was William.
I'm so sorry.
Oh boy. I mean, it's not that you
Low
gotta
energy
apologize
to a
for.
to a new level.
It's nothing you have to apologize for, but the question is, what else were you paying attention to? Like, where were you there? But this episode is brought to you by Keystone, always smooth, wide mouth beer. So all you college kids out there, remember college, everybody? I didn't go to a traditional college, but I do.
Neither did I. Really.
I didn't drink in college.
You didn't, and more than that, you didn't drink beer anywhere near college.
No, since I've only started drinking beer since I moved back to Keysport, which was what?
No, you were still in your apartment when you started.
No.
That's only in the fall.
Yeah,
You've been
November.
drinking beer since the summer.
I don't know that I was. I don't know if you're wrong, but I don't know that I was.
I feel like Mike could back me up.
Which
You started
Mike?
Drinking beer.
Which Mike?
Lil Mike.
Okay.
We have a lot of friends named Mike.
Well, two. But I'm sure everybody has a friend named Mike. But Keystone beer, always smooth. Remember that batch that we got that it tastes like onion water?
Well, yeah. It wasn't great.
No, it wasn't great. We had a batch.
Couldn't waste it. Well, it's always smooth because it always just mostly tastes like water.
It tastes like water. Well, I don't really like beer, so it's got to taste like water for me to like it. We also are drinking some sour mash. Jake loved that I said it.
It's not sour.
Yeah, it is. That's that kickback. That's that sour. That's what that means. But
It's just a bourbon whiskey, I guess.
Yep. Straight Kentucky bourbon for me.
So our follower on their Tumblr will enjoy that.
What?
I'm sure that we're drinking this sour mash.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kentucky.
Speaking of Tumblr, I think that's as good a segue we're gonna get. We had and we don't know this for sure, but if you're just tuning into the show, this is the first episode. We have a Tumblr, which is isthatyourkid.tumblr.com, and that's for behind the scenes. Anything we mention in the episode, we kind of put on Tumblr. So, for example, Jake and I were talking about in episode 10.2, which we called it, because we failed to record it correctly the first time.
It's not quite a failure on
it's
our
a failure.
part.
It's a group failure.
Was
it our fault? Maybe not,
No.
but it was a failure.
Well,
and so we have to
we
take
failed.
responsibility for it.
We did fail.
But, I mean, we put it out there. But anyway, you were talking about Team Toe, and so we saw some Team Toe on Tumblr.
So we posted up some Team Toe pictures.
But we had a listener from Texas. Her name is Valerie. And
Val actually sent in some Tails art.
Yeah, Tails art. Jake's dog
so that's
Tails.
6 episodes ago.
Mm-hmm. She was like really hot to trot on Is That Your Kid podcast. He made a weird eyebrow gesture. She was really hot to trot on Is That Your Kid podcast for about 3 to 4 weeks, and I haven't been able to reach her since. So in that aspect, I did reach out to her today, and I was just like, well, since you are a Tumblr fan, can we analyze your Tumblr posts?
Let's just analyze her Tumblr as a whole.
Well, yeah, Tumblr posts is the same thing. So, I mean, don't accidentally give away her Tumblr. We don't want that done.
Okay.
But Valerie is from Texas. She at some point listened to Is That Your Kid podcast.
And now that she knows she may be a part of it, could be listening now. But
well, that's the whole idea, to get her to still listen, is to talk about this.
We're reaching out to one lost sheep.
Exactly.
Design aficionado and lewd commentator who only cares about hunks and firearms. And this is
Hunks is an X.
This is her blog about nothing.
A blog about nothing.
There it is.
And
first post, May 9th. Stone.
Here's what we'll do. We'll hit post back and forth. If that's fine. You talk about that first post. I'll talk about the second. We'll go from there.
All right.
So this is Valerie from Texas. We're going to analyze your Tumblr blog. And so if anybody else wants their Tumblr blog analyzed, shoot us an email. isthatyourkid@yahoo.com. Isthatyourkid@yahoo.com. Hit us up there. Subscribe on iTunes. Did I say subscribe right the first time? Subscribe on iTunes. We're also at isthatyourkid.podomatic.com. And also, Sleazy E runs our YouTube, youtube.com/isthatyourkid. But back to Tumblr. If you want your Tumblr analyzed, let us know. This is Valerie from Texas, who may or may not be a former fan of Is That Your Kid?
And maybe no longer.
I don't know. But I did get her permission to do this, so this is not something we're doing out of spite.
I mean, it
is something we're doing out of spite, but she's in on it.
Yeah,
right.
It's not like... Anyway, she's got a topless mermaid as her profile picture.
Yeah, she has a topless...
Maybe Mexican mermaid?
Yeah, Latina Faye, which is a bit, obviously. Tina Fey, Latina Faye. So she is...
So the first one.
Latina.
You want me to do the first one?
Yeah, do the first one.
Well, it's got Stone Cold. I know who he is. His name is Stone Cold Steve Austin.
He's a wrestler. We talked about him before, I think, right? I did.
Like everyone knows that name. I don't know what his hat says. Oh, it's a skull. It's his skull.
Mm-hmm.
Because he does that.
I had a couch one time that looked like that couch. It's in a storage unit by the river right now.
Did you have a gothic candle behind you too?
No, but you remember my couch from my apartment. It looks like that couch.
Yeah.
That
what
couch
did you do with it? Oh,
it's in a storage unit by the river,
bro. I really need to turn my ears up.
Ugh.
Hey man, deep down inside, didn't part of you think the name Ringmaster was totally awesome? Not only no, but hell no. So, Stone Cold Steve Austin commenting on his old name. Is that his old name for himself?
Oh. Yeah, it's his first gimmick. He didn't like it.
Yeah. Hell no. Definitely doesn't like it. Stone Cold, more, here I'll sum it up.
Mm-hmm.
More comfortable with his current career choices than his previous.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Okay. Next post here is somebody, and there's somebody Brett Puppich. He looks like Brett Puppich.
I know a lot of people that are gonna go nuts for that shout out.
Brett Puppich Pop. My God. For those of you who don't know Brett Puppich, I don't either, but it's somebody we went to high school for. And everybody out there that had a tech class in high school, they know that that's when you discover computers and how they work. And this particular young man just taped himself listening to like nu metal on a webcam, and that's all that video is. I'm just gonna play a little bit of it, see if it picks up in the mic. It might not, but it's all it is a white kid playing with a webcam with weird ears. I'll be real about it. I'm into like minimalistic humor and like that kind of stuff. I didn't laugh at this because I didn't really know where it was going.
And nothing happens.
Nothing really happens, which is okay. But anyway, I didn't really like that post. So you're up next.
She seemed to like it, and in fact, deep inside, I want to marry Stone Cold, minus the domestic abuse. So she. It's a she, obviously, by the way.
Yeah, that's the old post. That's still
I know.
Awesome. Okay.
But that was the Stone Cold one, so we're on to the new one. Next one is an old guitar. It's obviously I'm pretty sure it's a man. It's a photo of a man holding a guitar in front of his face. It's an electric guitar. That's about it. You can see both of his hands.
That's film for sure.
Yeah, it's not a digital photograph. It's definitely a film.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell because of the glare behind whoever's taking the picture. I don't know, but
the color palette. I mean, it definitely says film.
Yeah. It's not much going on here. It's just a picture.
Mm-mm.
So maybe she's a fan of music. Maybe she's a fan of headless men, but maybe men with
she
guitar
either
heads.
is a fan of headless men because he's holding the guitar in front of his face. That is a guitar, not a bass, right? I'm not a musician.
That is a guitar because it has 6 strings. Not to say that basses can't have 6 strings, but it's a guitar.
Yeah, because you hear that term like it's a 6-string bass, meaning it's an untraditional bass.
Yeah, basses usually have 4. It's not uncommon to have 5, but I mean, the more strings you add, you just become douchier, in my opinion.
Let me load page 2. This is from May 9th, 2014.
You get another video. You're getting all the videos here.
Yeah, this is Jody Husky ain't going to school today. This is my favorite thing about today, seeing this. So let's play this Husky video. This is a video of a Husky. Pupster.
Is that it?
That's it. Yeah, that was kind of good.
So
I'll play it again.
Okay. Pupster.
I like it. Yeah, it's one of those videos.
It.
Yeah.
And the puppy is super cute. It's a husky, and it's a guy trying to wake up a little husky.
Yeah.
And the pup's totally out.
He kind of sounds like Hannibal Buress a little bit, comedian Hannibal Buress.
Yeah, he does. Is he in Broad City?
Yeah. He plays Lincoln in
Broad. Lincoln is my favorite part of
Lincoln,
Broad City. For those of you that maybe don't know, Lincoln. Oh my dude, when he was talking to his dogs. Oh man.
Yo, do you want to talk about that next one?
That's what I was telling you about before, and I'm like, I'm done, and I turn it off.
I feel like you wouldn't be comfortable talking about that one. No. The next post from May 9th, 2014.
Maybe you just take it classy. Like there's no way. That's a weird one.
I mean, you could just say. I mean, if you don't want to, skip it.
Did she now? Did she put the tag in, or did someone else put the tag?
No,
in?
That's a reblog, so it's not something she personally posted. It's
right.
A reblog, so it's not like.
What's up
it's
with
not
that?
hot button. If
it's
you're
definitely.
Curious.
I'll say. Well, I'll call it a silhouette. Or, I don't know.
Do you want to not touch it? I guess. If you don't want to touch it, I'll touch it.
Go for it. It
is a white man with his genitalia erect behind a gray T-shirt. Is exactly what it is.
Oh man!
And it's one of those posts that like people post that are like, yeah, I'm into that. Isn't that weird? That's what that is. That's all that is. But it's not a personally. It's just a reblog. So, but very very nice. very nice genitalia. Correctly straight, the way people traditionally want that.
What?
The next one's kind of boring, but you could hit on that if you want.
I love your transition.
It's just like
That's
a bunch
wild.
of wires that all make the same noise.
Looks like a girl playing an electric guitar. She's got some buttons and she's actually playing with the sound. She looks like she's sound checking.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. She's got a mixer in front of her. Obviously, she's sound checking some sort of band.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be her because there's like 8 cables plugged in there to the mixing board. So
Backlit.
yeah, I guess that.
No, it is. It's
Long
backlit.
hair. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a great photograph.
Not much going on there.
Mm-hmm.
But she's singing, so maybe I don't know if she's doing something else. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna take the next one too.
Okay, take the next post.
Next one is Game of Thrones. Spoiler.
Is that guy get his
someone
head
gets
chopped
cut?
off?
Not his head, but something else, and I won't spoil it for anyone else. But not his head, but something else gets cut.
Ooh, interesting.
Real soon, in the next 5 seconds, and the character doesn't know that he's gonna have something chopped off immediately.
Fingers.
Very close, but let's move on.
What's more than fingers? What's close to
Any-
fingers? Toes. Are toes close to fingers?
No, there's a different appendage. It's a completely different limb.
It's Game of Thrones, so it's not going to be penis. Ears.
I said you were close with fingers and you went straight to toes. That's so weird.
Yeah, is it toes?
No, no. What's close to fingers but more than? Obviously,
Hand.
Okay, well,
I mean,
no.
The picture is
Everyone
like
listening?
tan and brown.
No, that doesn't happen.
Ears then. Nose.
It's not a spoiler because I didn't tell you the character name. Yeah, hand.
Well, that's what I said. Hand. At some
Well,
point I said hand.
But I forgot that they couldn't see the picture, so
Yeah.
they don't know who.
Okay, so what we're
Anyway,
doing is
move on.
we're analyzing a Tumblr from a listener or former listener. I don't know for sure, but I think former.
And after this episode, maybe
Never.
back to listener.
Maybe never
Oh.
after this episode.
Oh.
Unless she gets hearsay from her friends. The next one is like that animal humor where like animals are being cute.
See, maybe you should have taken the Game of Thrones one because I like that one. It's 2 little gerbils cuddling.
It's 2
in one of their
gerbils.
running wheels.
You know what? Maybe we won't switch back and forth. Let's just
Let's just go for it.
both of us on each.
I love this one. This one's so cute.
Those are gerbils?
Yeah, they're not hamsters, man, and they're not mice. They're definitely gerbils. They're not guinea pigs, and they're not hamsters. They are so cute. Normally, gerbils eat one another, but these.
To me, that's a guinea pig.
Dude,
No, you know. No, you're right. You're right. Just as it left my lips, that's not a guinea pig. Just as
well, they're in their running wheel. You know, like those little rodents have running wheels.
2 little rodents cuddling. Rodents, not rodents. 2 rodents cuddling in a spinny wheel, and the male rodent is not really having it, and the female sleeping on
I
his
think they
chest.
both look comfortable, which is why I like it.
The caption is, looks like he trying to think of a way to tell her she can't stay the night.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah. So it's a little humanizing animals, because that's like...
Personifying.
That's like...
The hamster, or the gerbil.
That's what the internet does. Because it's like, oh my god, animals can't speak, so here's an ironic joke.
Yes. It looks like the cat typed bad.
The next one, ooh, this is a good caveat to a story. The next one is a helicopter with a man hanging from the helicopter by a rope.
Is he hanging by his neck?
He's hanging.
But his feet look normal.
Bro, his feet are gonna look normal if he's dead. He's a...
No, his feet look like he's standing on solid ground, which is weird.
Or it's a helicopter with a man hanging by his neck from a helicopter. And Jake, did I ever tell you a story how I saw a man hang himself? Have I ever told you
Is that from down by the waterfront?
Yes. You remember bits and pieces. But yes. By the way, guys, I'm over 2 weeks sober. ... of soda. I haven't had soda in over 2 weeks.
Let's applaud that because he's making a good life choice.
You don't know, like, it's got to, because, like, before work, I have a can of soda. At lunch, when I go to lunch at work, I have a cup of soda wherever I go. And then, like, since it's a refill bit, like, I fill that up. So there's I probably drink it. It got so bad that I probably drank a liter or more of Mountain Dew per day, and I went cold turkey. I just said no. It wasn't like a weaning down. It was just like done. And so I haven't.
You've been hinting at that, but now it's released. That's good.
Yeah.
Listen, you know how much like sugar? You know how much a gram of sugar is?
I mean, I still have sugar, but I'm just saying specifically.
But, like, soda has an incredible amount of sugar. Like, you know how much like a gram is.
Mm-hmm.
You should like Google what a gram looks like. Now imagine that in every can there's like 48 grams. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. So
48-gram Loudon's, drummer of Atlas.
I'm not cold turkey. I missed that. What you
Graham Loudon of Atlas, the drummer.
Yeah.
Yeah. 48-gram Loudons per soda.
Because his name's Graham.
I
like that name. Maybe you should make that your middle name.
No, I don't have.
Is that liberal? Todd Graham Tondera?
That's not a liberal.
That sounds better than Todd Williams.
I feel like
Todd
changing your name is a liberal thing. Like the whole bit, like changing your middle name is liberal.
Graham.
You don't change your name in your. Here's the thing.
Change your name to Tondera.
No, because everybody always says it anyway.
Todd Tondera.
But anyway, like
people
I was saying,
on the internet say that.
Nobody on the internet says that. People in real life say that. Oh, do you know why I left that job? First off, did you know I work there?
I did know you worked there because my brother worked there, and Sam Herenda works there.
Okay.
Worked there.
They didn't work with me, right? No.
At a different time, but they did work at the same one. I think the waterfront one.
Okay. I quit there because like it was one of those jobs, and it was one of my. I worked a couple jobs before it. But I was like, it was during that time that if like you knew that you had like a day off, you were like pretty cool. And it's gonna be hard to describe, and as it is, I'm not good at describing things because I don't say anything properly. But they had like shelves that were on wheels, and they would you would put the clothes on the shelves back, and this is in the back room. And to part the shelves, you would just kind of move them, and they were on a track. The shelves were on wheels, which were on a track, so you could easily move big shelves. Well, balanced on top of two shelves was a ladder. And on the ladder, when I had moved two shelves, the ladder fell and hit me in the head. Like, the ladder fell from probably about, I'm going to say, 10 feet and popped me right in the head, and I fell over. And, like, people came back, like, what was, like, because they heard the ladder hit the tile floor.
Yeah, it's not a very big story. You probably hear that.
Yeah, and they came back, and I said the ladder hit me in the head, and my boss, his name was Bob, he was just like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, but that's pretty, like, messed up that, like, somebody did that. Not that they did it on purpose, but they incorrectly put the ladder on the shelf. And he was like, are you okay? And I said, like, I think so. And then, like, it got to, I had a concussion. I didn't know what a concussion was at that time. But, like, I was working the day, and I was going through the day, and, at different moments of the day, I would remember not remembering. I'd be like, what happened 5 minutes ago? And I was like, I don't know. And this kept happening. This kept happening in stints. Like, because this was in the morning, and it kept happening in stints. And then eventually I was like, I don't know if I feel good. He's like, well, what do you mean? I was just like, I can't really describe it. But I was like, I mean, I have a headache. And he's like, well, do you want to go home? And I was like, yeah. And at the time, I didn't drive. And my grandma actually picked me up that day. And I just remember thinking, like, this is so cool. I have a half day off. Like, this is so cool.
That was what you thought about?
And she was just like, oh my God, like, this all happened and this happened. She's like, you could really get them in trouble, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, nah, I don't need to be like that guy. Like, I was like, I have a half day off, Grandma. Like, chill. And she's like, that never should have happened. They never should have had that. They should have taken care of you. They should have checked on you. And I was just like, this, really? Like, just, like, let's call a win a win. This is a win.
All that you were worried about was... You were just worried about having a half day.
Yeah, I was just like, this is sweet.
Like, yeah, it's a great day. I got hit in the head, now I have a half day at work.
I have a half day at work. And then because of that, there was at a time, there was a good friend that worked with me there. And he had quit. I think he just quit just to quit. But I was just like, well, I guess, like, my grandma was telling me, like, you should have quit because of all that stuff. And I was just like, well, if she's saying that I quit, then I quit. So I quit, put my 2 weeks in. And that was it for Hollister. But
that's weird, because I have a head hit story, but I did not have a concussion. Basically, all you need to do with a concussion is just not fall asleep. That's the worst. I feel like, in my knowledge of concussions, that's the worst thing you could do. Mm-hmm. I could be wrong, but I think you just not allowed to fall asleep. And if you do sleep, you have to wake up like every 2 hours or so.
Why 2 hours?
So you don't. It's just a thing, man. I don't know. You have to get woken up. Mm-hmm. Someone has to wake you up like every few hours to make sure, or you have to wake up yourself.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know. But at Kmart, I used to work at Kmart.
Okay.
There were ladders on wheels, and they made like a right angle.
Yeah.
Right, with the ground, so you can get up on the shelves and stock things. And they were too tall to fit through the doors. Yeah. And one of the ladders, not all of them, had a crossbar at the very, very top when you climbed the stairs. And I bent the ladder back, and actually the crossbar, as I bent it under to make it through the door, it actually hit me in the back of the head.
So not really in the temple area?
Not in the temple at all, but as I kicked it back to fit it under the door, and as it came through, the back part came and hit me like right in the back of the head. And I was woozy for a second and like fell down. I took a knee, like a T-bone knee, and I like took a second. I'm like, wow. It didn't hurt per se, but like the lights went off. You know, like the lights flashed.
See stars. How
yeah,
they say
see
you
stars. Yeah, okay. And then I took a knee, and I'm like, whoa.
You literally see stars.
And something about me, if I hurt myself, rage. Like, if I was the Hulk, I would have turned into the Hulk. I hate self-inflicted injuries, because to me, that's like the dumbest thing you could do. Even an accident, just accidents. Like, you should know better. Stub your toe. Rage. I hit my head. As soon as I realized after I took the knee that I had done that to myself, very mad. I was very mad. And that just comes from the sore loser part of me. Because I'm a real sore loser about some things. And to me, that's losing. To hurt yourself, that's losing. That's a loss. So I was very mad. And after that, I went back and just continued working at my minimum wage job. And that was it.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, back to the Tumblr. I didn't mean to go that into detail about it.
Well, I forgot about it.
Yeah, the next one is...
Well, let's give her the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
There's two couples kissing what looks like at a party. So two separate couples are kissing, and like I said, we'll give her the benefit of the doubt. Yeah. And there's a young lady smoking a cigarette between the two parties.
Yeah, but I think what you're missing, keep looking at that photograph. See what you're missing about it. Okay. Keep looking at that photograph. So there's two couples kissing. In the middle of two couples kissing, there's a girl smoking. Keep looking.
I'm done looking, and there's nothing.
All right, well, I'll focus it a little more. Look at the couple on your right.
Yeah.
Focus on what they're doing.
Nothing.
All right, focus on her arm.
Well, I'm looking at it, and it's not so much. It's not very obvious.
Right, but that's the idea. You have to look for it.
So let's analyze it. Why do you think that this
because she's
Latina Faye is like this one?
Well, it's like, it's
risque,
a cool thing. Yeah, it's kind of risque. Like, hey guys, I'm alternative. Like, I support this alternative movement.
Ooh, smoking and kissing. Ooh.
Yeah, that's all that is.
Gestures.
Okay, next page.
Ooh, we have to go to the next page.
Page 4. See,
this is like a live... Oh!
This is pretty good.
This one I do dig.
This is a vacuum. I'm going to say that's a kitchen. This picture we're looking at this particular Tumblr, because we're analyzing this Tumblr post, is a vacuum cleaner attached to a bag with a man in it sucking the air out. So it's like a suffocation thing. She might be into suffocation
And-
and binding.
Or she might just be into funny pictures because the garbage bag has no air left in it, and it's just there's no air left in this bag.
And it's a good one. I like that one. Would I reblog it? No, but yeah,
No.
it's good.
Yeah.
But it's a vacuum cleaner hose sucking the air out of a bag while there is a man in the bag, potentially suffocating.
Well, temporarily. So.
The next one is a
Back tattoo.
a back tattoo.
It's the typical what would you call these?
There's a word for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's killing
Shoulder
me.
blades.
This-
Shoulder blade tattoo.
It's a shoulder blade tattoo, and on each of this female's
Well, wait.
shoulder blades is a chicken wing.
Yeah, you know how girls get like the wings back there.
Well, I mean, yeah.
But this one is instead of like angel wings, they're chicken wings.
They're chicken wings.
The coolest back tattoo I saw
Yeah.
on a lady on her shoulder blades were the F holes of a violin, cello,
A lot of
viola,
people do
or
that
bass,
now.
which is to me
Mm-hmm.
pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Much cooler than chicken wings or angel wings, because I like instruments a lot. I like all types of instruments.
Well, you're a composer.
No one's ever said that, but that's good.
Well, what would you consider yourself?
Just like a musician, I'd say.
Okay, well, you're a musician. But I mean...
Am I a great one? Maybe. Maybe not. But
Right.
the F-hole tattoos, I do dig. Those are pretty neat. The chicken wing, it's funny. Maybe. Hopefully it's henna.
It's funny on first look, but like, okay.
Yeah,
I'm over
The
it.
rest of your life, yikes.
I'm over it. The next picture is, it says a wild herd of straight white boys, and it's just like white boys with khaki shorts walking around.
Basketball shorts. Unbelievable.
Going on, it says broken by, it's a tattoo of the word broken by an ear.
A gross ear. Ew, that person barely has hair. Let's move on. I don't like that.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
I'm already done. I'm already moved on.
Alright, next page. So broken ear tattoo, no good.
Pepperoni Playboy.
The next one is
Holy water.
holy water in a plastic jug, right? So this is a mock of holy water in a 2-gallon.
It does have a barcode.
Yeah. I think it's... Do you buy holy water in jugs?
I mean, well, don't ask me, but do churches buy holy water in jugs? Maybe.
And maybe this particular person...
No. I think the Catholics just have the priests bless regular water and make it holy water. Is that how
I
it
went to
works?
Catholic school, bro, and it definitely...
You are our source.
It definitely isn't regular water. It's definitely not regular water.
So like distilled water.
No.
So like Deer Park water.
No.
Dasani.
It's something different.
Like Aquafina.
No, it's something different.
Like coconut water.
Something different. It's like more of like... It smells like more like nail polish remover.
No, it does not.
Yes, it does.
I've never smelled it in my life. But...
Especially when they cook it in that little jar. They like 4 times a year they make it hot and
What in
steamy
the
and cook it in
world?
a jar, and you feel more like, oh, this is prime time holy water. Like they cook it in this jar. It's like a ball, and they cook it, and the steam comes out of it. People who go to church, you know what I mean. I'm sorry, like I don't know what it is, but like it comes out of a circular
Like a
jar with
sphere.
steam. It's definitely different. It's not any kind of water.
I love that angle. It's different.
It's just a different water.
What's the tag on this one?
Okay, so
No.
the next one, it's a picture that says, only thing I love besides white dudes. White dads. White dude dads is green tea.
So this person that posted is a big fan of green tea and white fathers.
Only thing I love besides white dudes dads. And she tagged that as personal. I'm going to go ahead and say this. I wish this person would write us about this whole dad's gimmick that she does, because I've seen it before. Have you, in fact, had any sort of interaction with a white father? If you have, I won't talk about it on the podcast. Just let us know, because I've looked at this blog before, and she talks about white dads before, and I feel like it's a cover. I don't think she's done anything with a white dad. Just let us know if you have. The next
maybe
one.
Maybe she likes white dads because they're really into like
traditional things.
Like motorcycles and things, or like.
Are you into motorcycles? Is this person into motorcycles?
Someone in your neighborhood has a fire going.
Has a chimney going. I just got that whiff too. It has a chimney going.
If there's one thing that me and maybe my brother have always wanted in our home, we wish our fireplace was a real fireplace.
I don't know if you ever focused on the outside of my house, but we have a chimney. We don't have a fireplace. We have a chimney though.
We have a chimney and a fireplace, but the fireplace is cemented up and you can't use it.
Who cements a fireplace? Who installs a fireplace and cements
it? No one has installed it.
How did
the
Santa
family had moved in there, or the original family had wanted a fireplace, and our current family was like, nah.
Okay.
That was all.
They cemented their own fireplace?
It doesn't take much. You just do it at the top. And just like block it, seal it off. Well, number one, if you don't have the
bats and squirrels could get in that if you don't.
Right. And more than that, if you don't use it, there's always cold air or hot air drafting or wafting in. Maybe you don't want that.
Maybe you
don't.
But
me, I smell fireplaces going in our town all the time in the wintertime. By the way, everybody, I brought the great table, so Todd has yet to mention how grateful he is for the good table.
It's a table. It's the good table, but it does not take stress to bring a table. It doesn't. Because I will make up problems to have, but actual real problems, I could bring a table. It's not a big deal. I don't think of it as a big deal. If I need to perform a job better with this said table, I'd bring it 10 out of 9 times. I'd bring it twice sometimes.
In another 10 out of 9 times, that means he'd bring every 9th time he'd bring 2 tables.
Yes, every 9th time I would bring, like, here's me from the future would bring a table into the past. I'd be so into it. It would be so easy for me to do because I knew it needed to be done. You know what? This week seems like she just had a regular week because she's just posting.
Oh, we're only on May 7th?
Yeah.
That's only 3 days ago?
4 at this point because it's after midnight.
Right. How often do you update a Tumblr? It seems like a lot.
Right.
Goodness. There's just some jugs.
Yeah.
A painting. Turn up for summer. Oh, there's a shirtless guy.
Where?
You seen him?
Ooh.
Tag is God, Guns, and Guys.
God, Guns, and Guys. There's a shirtless fella. Very muscular. A hunk, as she said she's into. A hunk.
He's got a baseball hat on.
He's got a baseball cap on and really dry lips. His lips look so dry.
Dude,
but I'll say this, dry. Like, if this guy ever got into a fight with me, I would be headless.
I'd lose.
Oh, I mean, we both lose.
I'd still feel better than him, but he'd still win.
What? I'd feel worse than him, and I feel like he could probably fight both of us and win.
Yeah, he probably could.
But you know what I'd do in a fight?
Go for the nose.
I would push those eyes in. I would push those eyes.
That's such a movie trope, bro.
I would push my...
That's a horror movie trope.
I would push his eyes in with my thumbs. If I could. I'm not saying I could, but if I had the opportunity, I would try to push his eyes in with my thumbs. Because that's what you do in a fight. You affect their vision. That's the only way you'd win.
I feel like you're mixing up a fight with a human with a fight with a shark.
Yeah, because when you put a human on... When you flip a human over, they are paralyzed, right? Or is that a shark? That's a shark. I am.
You're mixing it up.
I'm mixing shark and I'm still worried that you're gonna be robot-y because you are so chilled in that chair. You're a foot away from your microphone.
More than that.
The next one is definitely a dad at Boys in Crop Tops 2014.
Whoa.
Is a dad with a cutoff shirt and cuffed up shorts.
That's a Walmart pick.
That's definitely a Walmart.
That doesn't count. Let's go to the next one though. This is a hunk. He's an auto mechanic with work gloves. He's got a nice brown belt. I have one of those.
Yeah.
Nice work pants. Work boots.
Whoa!
The next one is a picture of a girl, maybe in a Europe.
I feel like European you just woke up. You were sleeping for a half hour.
It looks like she's in a European town and she's spitting blood.
She's bleeding out of her mouth.
She looks distressed. She's got crazy glasses.
It's definitely an alternative picture to post.
Yeah. Pretty cool. It is
so she has sunglasses, a pale.
That's an attention grabber.
That's an attention grabber. So, so it's a pale white woman with wearing black with a bloody mouth. She seems to be upset in the picture too.
Well, if I had some blood spittle coming out like her, I'd be upset.
Do you want to do 2 of these tonight then?
You just want to wrap it up? You want to wrap up episode 1 now and keep going?
Do you want to do a 2-parter?
I'm ready. I'm willing.
Okay, so Late Night with Todd and Jake. This has been the first of 2 parts. So tomorrow would be Mother's Day.
Thanks for sticking around, and I hope this 2-part episode doesn't completely kill us.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this particular episode was the worst and the best at the same time. I feel like it's what a podcast is. Like, you just talk. There's really nothing to talk about, but you just talk.
Hopefully you've experienced.
Famous. But we're not famous, because if you hear famous people talk, you're like, well, that's funny because they're famous.
Right.
But we're not famous. I've never done anything in my life. So, like...
You've done a lot. Just not that anything
anything notable. Right?
Yeah, not
that's what you're
notable.
going for. Nothing notable.
I put my head in my hands then.
Yeah. I'm trying... What is the most... notable thing I've ever done.
You are an admissions assistant.
Yeah, I've worked in education. I've started people on their lives. I've started probably dozens of people in their careers.
Well, it sounds better when you say it.
No, it's real. But I am the gasoline to their fire. But I never know,
It doesn't matter. They'll know.
Yeah.
They know.
But I'm trying to think of the most notable thing.
I'm just thinking the kids that I teach in kindergarten, they're not going to remember me. I don't remember my kindergarten teacher. Yes, they will, because that's when
you remember your teachers. You don't remember your
Not everyone does.
Advisors.
Not everyone does.
I bet you if I said who's your preschool teacher and who's your kindergarten teacher, you'd remember. I remember mine.
I remember my preschool teacher because she was Jewish.
You remember because she was Jewish?
Yeah, I'm not Jewish, but I went to a Jewish preschool.
I have Jewish relatives. Do you remember me? Do you remember me?
I went to a Jewish preschool, everyone, and I'm not Jewish, but it was right down the street, and I guess my parents were like, yeah, that's pretty cool. And best times I had, you know why? Because they let me ride on a tricycle, but they didn't just let me ride on the tricycle with the pedals. You know what they let me do? They let me stand on the back of the trike and use it like a scooter, which when you're 4 is baller, which is so sick. And they had a basement where they let you ride around. They had big wheels and trikes and things downstairs.
Are you sure that was school?
This is preschool.
Okay.
The preschool isn't real school, bro. Anyway, I was the only blonde kid in my preschool with blonde hair and blue eyes. So my parents have gone on record to tell me that the other kids flocked to me. And I didn't know this because when you're 4, you barely know which way is up, right?
Right.
But they said that the other Jewish kids would unknowingly flock to me just because I was different, because everyone had dark hair and maybe dark eyes, and I had blonde hair and blue eyes, with the exception of the Babiaks, because I also went to preschool with the Babiaks.
I don't know who they are.
Well,
go on.
And that was the thing, and I didn't know it.
Mm-hmm.
But my mom said she's never been to so many birthday parties in her life because everyone invited me to their birthday party.
Really?
And I don't know. I'm just a kid.
Yeah.
So I was just whatever. But yeah,
that's nice.
I did. I wore a yarmulke for graduation. Yeah. We sang the dreidel song, and I graduated preschool.
For graduation?
Oh, I went to Jewish preschool.
I'm sure they just called it preschool though. Right? They didn't call it Jewish.
It was
preschool.
It was in a synagogue, in the rec part of a synagogue.
But I'm saying other people. They didn't say welcome to Jewish preschool.
No one says welcome to Jewish preschool, but it was just an educational preschool education that happened to be in a synagogue, but it was largely it certainly wasn't Catholic.
No.
That wasn't a thing. It was preschool. It was in a synagogue. It's right on one street up from Fawcett Summit.
I know. I see the building in my head.
And the first time that I ever realized that I might be weird, I'll tell you, I was waiting for my mom to pick me up. It's not. She wasn't late, but I was waiting for her to pick me up, and I was really into Jurassic Park at the time, which means I was really, really, really into dinosaurs. Everybody, I still am. Dinosaurs are so awesome.
That's a liberal thing to say.
No, it's not. It's an anything thing to say.
Okay.
I love dinosaurs. I would color dinosaur books, but I was pretending to be a velociraptor as I waited for my mom to pick me up, and I remember a mom like looking at me weird. Some other mom, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm a raptor. And I remember her looking at me strangely. And I realized, and when you're 4 or 5, like, you don't have any larger picture of the outside world. It's all you. Like, it's what's about me. Like, I'm hungry. Like, I'm thirsty. But at that moment, I had a wider audience than just Jake.
Yeah.
And I realized, and I was trying to think of what she was thinking of me. Okay. And I realized that it was just like, she thinks I'm weird. That's what I remember thinking as like a 4 or 5-year-old. Because I was doing the whole arm bit. My arms were like tiny dinosaur arms, and I was running around like a velociraptor. And she was like, "Oh, what are you? What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm a raptor," and she thought it was weird. And since then, that could have changed, could have spiraled me into a whole different direction.
That's when they laid the law down. They laid the law down on it.
But I don't even care, dude. I love Raptors.
Yeah. I feel the Toronto Raptors, the basketball team as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have the Toronto Raptors.
Does it have a cane, like a pimp cane, sort of?
Not that I know of. The Raptor does it, not that I know of.
Like, not, I don't know why I said that, but like, like the cane. I swear he's got a top hat and a cane.
No, not that. Well, I'll say this, not that I know of. Yeah, not that I know of.
Dude, I swear they have a cane and a top hat.
I don't think they do, but they may. I mean, I don't know. But we're gonna leave this on a cliffhanger. Before I get to the cliffhanger, though, again, we are Is That Your Kid podcast. Subscribe on iTunes. This is part 1 of 2, Late Night with Jake and Todd. Hit us up, isthatyourkid@yahoo.com, isthatyourkid.podomatic.com. That's pretty much what we use for our hub. youtube.com/isthatyourkid. So remember to subscribe on iTunes, review, and I know a lot of you have been reviewing, and it hasn't been going through on iTunes. So sorry about that, but thank you for the appreciation, and share with your friends. So if this is what you're into. But we will close the show here. I'm actually going to open up part 2 of this podcast with a story, and I'm not sure if Jake's ever heard it. I was with my dad and my dad's friend Mongo.
Mongo?
In Ligonier, Pennsylvania. You just remind me of a funny story that I had. We were sneaking into a hotel pool, and they were drunk. I wasn't. I was like, I'm going to say 10 or 11. And we were sneaking into a hotel pool, and my dad was trying to hoist me over a fence, and something real weird happened. So we will release these 2 weeks in a row, so it's going to be a week before you hear this. But again, from Is That Your Kid podcast, nerds from Western Pennsylvania, dealing with one another's personality flaws. Forgot that whole bit. But this is Todd signing off, and as traditional, I will let Jake sign this off after I open up another can of audio whoop-ass. That's a Stone Cold Steve Austin thing. And drink 2 of these last bits of Keystone beer. Jake, take it away.
Part 1 is finished. Next week, part 2 coming at you. But we will do it in the same night.
Same night.
If that's not progressive.
I don't know what is. So we'll take a break, and then we'll hopefully get all juiced up on some whiskey.
Part 2.
Some whiskey and some Keystone. Final words, Jake.
Happy Mother's Day.
Love your mothers. Love your mothers.
Good night.
4 times a year, they make it hot and steamy and cook it in a jar.